Victoria, are you ready? We're filming. Well, hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome for the first time. My name is Emiko, aka That Hi-Fi Girl, and if you're watching this, you have landed in the place for all things music, hi-fi, vinyl, Hammond organ, guitar, and dogs. So if you like any or all of those things, then please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications on, because there are a ton more really fun and hopefully informative videos coming your way. So today I want to talk to you about something a little bit more personal, something more family oriented. My parents were in town in June, house sitting for me while I was off doing the home entertainment show, and they were wholly impressed by my sound system. And I had told my dad, I said, you can go ahead and use it, I got tons of vinyl, whatever you want to do. And he said, oh no, this looks way more complicated than I could ever imagine. I don't want to do anything wrong. So they left. They're back now on another trip, and yesterday I had a really unexpected, impromptu, just utterly delightful moment that I got to share with my parents, which is that they were sitting on the couch, both of them, and one of my best girlfriends had got me for my birthday the Deutsche Grammophon Beethoven Bicentennial String Quartet vinyl collection, and we put on some Beethoven and they were sitting here. My dad had a chance to sit in the sweet spot earlier that morning. He had told my mom, go sit here, and she said, well, what does it matter? And he said, no, go sit there. And so we got up and sort of played musical chairs, and she sat down, and her face just went from being kind of perplexed and almost annoyed that she was having to get up and move positions on the couch to immediately realizing exactly what a difference it makes. And that was such a wonderful moment, because my mom, although she has a beautiful voice and is somewhat of an operatic singer, she wasn't particularly musical in her career. And so this was a real opportunity for her to understand how music is replicated authentically. And just the look on her face transformed. And it was just this moment where my dad and I kind of looked at each other out of the corner of our eyes. And it was really wonderful, and she got really deep in thought, and she sort of closed her eyes and she sat there. And my dad was sitting next to her, and it was the sweetest thing, because I was watching my father, who was enjoying watching her enjoying the music. I don't know if we have ever consciously or intentionally shared that as a family. My dad started inquiring about my speakers, which I gave him the whole lowdown on Eggleston Works and the Osos. But this is really interesting, because I wanted to delve into, the more and more I thought about it, and the more and more my dad and my mom and I got a chance to talk about my system and what it means to me. Because remember, they raised me in a household where I was a growing professional musician from the time I was, yay high. And so they always had the live version. They didn't have to listen to recorded music, because I was always there on the piano, plunking it out. But inevitably, when they came to the shows and the concerts and the chamber performances and the juries, they got to hear the finished product. And so I think for them, the idea of recorded music in the house was always secondary. So this past Christmas, I bought my parents a subscription to Qobuz, and I bought them a pair of Edifier Bluetooth bookshelf speakers, which I believe are very quality, entry-level, good beginner audiophile speakers for people that want to elevate their music listening experience, but maybe are not as involved as sort of an audiophile further along your journey. I got them those. They absolutely loved them. My dad ended up with a pair of Edifier Bluetooth headphones for when he travels, which is not so often anymore because of COVID, but now that things have started to open up, they're doing a little bit more. And so he was saying to me that he heard a really big difference between those and my Eggleston Works Osos. Of course, the Osos are powered by a Bryson BP17 and 2.5B cubed, and I'm running all audience power and audience cables, so it's a totally different thing. I mean, I feel like at that point we're sort of comparing raccoons and giraffes, right? if we had to compare things that are extremely different but still in one kingdom. And my mother was very clear in making sure that her point of view was known, which was she hadn't had a record listing experience for literally decades. And I think it was really heartwarming. And then when we got to talking about the fact that they're looking to relocate to the West Coast, where I am, my dad made mention of the fact that he's got a couple of storage units. And in one of the storage units are possibly over 1,000-ish pieces of vinyl and 78s that my grandmother had when she was growing up. What's so interesting about this for me is that I'm seeing, you know, I'm somebody that always says vinyl never left, so it couldn't have come back because it was always here to begin with. But yes, I would admit that there's probably more of a common vinyl resurgence now in the mainstream than there has been for quite a while. And it's funny to me that my father was saying, oh, you can have all the vinyl and you can have all the 78s because we want to go digital because we don't want to have all the stuff. So that'll go to you, and some of that is grandma's, some of that is mine from when I was a kid, some of that is, you know, from when your mom and I got married. And what we discovered in this very casual conversation was that this is a form of passing down family tradition. And the tradition isn't just the vinyl. It's the preservation of the music itself. It's the love of music. It's the passing down of the ceremony, I think, of the entire process that one has to undertake when they put on a record. And so that's something that was really interesting, that my father had saved all of this. And he and I had never talked about this before. The idea that he kept all of this. And I said, why did you keep all of this? And he just said, because it's important. It's very interesting that in the recesses of one's brain, music has such a lasting effect, and this very unintentional yet familial effect in terms of passing it down. And I think that's really cool. And that's why tangible product, I think, is something that's so important. Case in point, I'll bring up the Beethoven again, but my friend thought to get me tangible product, not just because she knows that I'm a vinyl junkie, but because she understands the tactile experience and the importance of being able to hold it and the ceremony. And there's a whole meditative experience with it. And so the fact that now I've got one of my best friends and my parents involved in this, that's just one more way that we can connect as parents and child, or friend to friend, or human to human. And I would love to know from you all if you've had any similar experiences or different experiences when it comes to sharing hi-fi with your family members, because I think this is one of the ways that we can increase our connectivity as a community, but also as an industry. So until next time, I'm gonna sign off, but I hope that you will hit the subscribe button, turn notifications on. Let's connect on Instagram if we haven't already. All of my links and stuff are below. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, I'll see you soon. Thank you so much for watching.